Hello, welcome back. So today in this video, I'm going to discuss about Easy 104 module on mastering Azure infrastructure as code, which includes ARM templates and Azure Bicep. Okay, so I'll show you the details about this. So advantages of Azure ARM templates. So Azure ARM templates, they give a way for us to use infrastructure as code in an easy way and a consistent way and deploy our infrastructure, required infrastructure on Azure. Okay. So the way Azure ARM templates are written are like they are declarative in syntax. So we can specify what to deploy, and that is what is important. We should specify clearly in a declarative manner what all resources we need to deploy. Consistency and repeatability. So with ARM templates, you can always consistently deploy it in multiple environments. The resources can be deployed in multiple environments, and you will not find configuration drifts. It will be deployed as per the description provided in the ARM template. Modularity and reusability. So break deployments into modules and components. So each deployment will be made up of different modules, and those modules will add up together to make one big deployment. So it will allow us to have a modularity, like a same VM descriptive deployment code we can use in multiple ARM templates. So that is also allowed. So it allows us for modularity and reusability. Orchestration and dependency. So it allows us to have automatic resource sequencing. So we can have orchestration between the resources getting deployed. So we can have dependency like resource 1 should get deployed first, resource 2 should get deployed next, and its output will be used in deployment of resource 3. So all that orchestration can be managed. Idempotency. So this one is like we can have in the same environment if we want to deploy multiple times, okay, at different times in a month or a year, it will still deploy it without any issues. It will deploy it in an idempotent manner, okay, so which will be safe and repeatable. So those are the advantages of Azure ARM templates, which are very useful. Next part, I would like to talk about exploring the JSON template schema. So JSON template schema is like defines the template structure and version. So dollar schema, in that part of the code for the template JSON template schema, will define the template structure and version. Content version. So user defined version of the template will be mentioned in the content version part. Okay. Parameters. Accept input values during deployment. So parameters will allow us to accept different input values during deployment as per our deployment requirements. Okay. Variables. Store reusable values within the template. So we can have variables assigned in the template which will be used for deployments. Resources. List of Azure resources to deploy. So we'll mention the resources, right? And those resource deployments will use variables and parameters. Outputs. So return useful deployment values. So once in the template schema itself, we will have a section for outputs where we can define an output from another deployment which can be used in this deployment. So in that way, it is very useful. Understanding JSON template parameters. So we need to support multiple data types in the JSON template parameters, which will be string, int, bool, etc. Okay, we will have all different data types. Default values provide fallbacks. So we will provide values for the parameters, but if those cannot be used, then we can always fall back on the default values. Okay, so which is very useful for us. It allowed values enhance validation, and it also allows for external parameters to be provided, which will have a separate logic from configuration. So those parameters will be external, and it can help us to have some different logic from the basic configuration. Enable dynamic and reusable deployments. So it will allow us to have consistent dynamic and reusable deployments. So parameters are useful. It allows us to have some dynamic features for the ARM template itself, and it allows us to have a way in which some configuration, dynamic configuration, can be done for the deployments. Azure Bicep files. So Azure Bicep files are like these are for people who do not like JSON, or who find it difficult to work with JSON. They can use Azure Bicep files, which will have simplified syntax over JSON files. Okay, and it supports reusable modules for modular code. So Azure Bicep file will have some reusable modules, which will allow for modular codes. Okay, it is excellent. It has excellent tooling support. So Azure Bicep files will have tooling support from IntelliSense and VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Okay, so these tools support Azure Bicep files, will help us to write Azure Bicep files and make it more easier. It transpiles to ARM JSON templates seamlessly. So it is easy to convert Azure Bicep files to ARM JSON templates. Okay, it converts into it seamlessly, and it improves manageability and readability. Okay, so Azure Bicep files is very useful. It helps us with more manageability and readability. So next part here I want to talk about is Quickstart templates for Azure ARM. So Microsoft maintained uh, templates are there, and it has a community contribution as well, which makes it very useful. So we will have quick start templates for virtual machines, for databases, for web apps, and much more. Okay, so it covers many more resources which can be deployed using quick start templates. Implements best practices in template design. Okay, so quick start template, because community is contributing, it is maintained by Microsoft, it will obviously have best practices in those template designs. Okay, so we should definitely look to use these. And then excellent learning resource for ARM and Bicep. So it gives two options when we go into the quick start template page of Microsoft Azure ARM. It gives us two options. We can either go into the ARM version or the Bicep version, and we can look to have a quick start using either ARM version or Bicep version. Okay, and these are also made available on GitHub. So Azure quick start templates are there on GitHub, which we can use. Okay, so these are the quick and important points about Azure ARM. Hope this was useful. Thank you.